What if I told you that her silence is not a verdict but a test of your frame, and that the next 60 seconds can change the entire dynamic in your favor if you act with precision instead of panic? Right now, you're tempted to chase clarity, flood her with texts, ask what's wrong, explain yourself, or prove that you're different. That impulse is the trap. If she ignores you, the worst thing you can do is increase your output when her input is zero. Attraction doesn't grow from pressure. It grows from polarity, contrast, and the feeling that she has to earn a piece of you. So here's what you do instead. You pause, you reset your frame, and you execute a sequence designed to convert silence into tension, tension into curiosity, and curiosity into re-engagement, without begging for it. Start by understanding what ignoring usually signals. It's rarely a simple no. Often it's emotional calibration. People test value unconsciously. They test consistency, boundaries, and self-respect. They test whether your attention is abundant because your life is full or abundant because your standards are low. When she pulls back, she's not always trying to punish you. She's looking to feel something. If your reaction is anxious pursuit, she feels nothing new. If your reaction is calm, grounded, and self-directed, she feels the shift from control to curiosity. Attraction thrives in that gap. Your first move is internal. Stop negotiating for attention. Your brain seeks to close open loops, so silence feels like danger. You'll want to text again to soothe that discomfort. Don't. Tell yourself, I do not reward silence with more effort. This isn't arrogance, it's calibration. You are signaling that your attention tracks reciprocity, not fantasy. This single boundary immediately separates you from the crowd. Now, correct your posture and breath. Body shifts inform mind shifts. Shoulders down and back, jaw unclenched. Exhale longer than you inhale. You're teaching your nervous system that uncertainty is safe and that you are not in a crisis. Next, audit your last 3 interactions with her. Were you over-explaining, over-qualifying, or over-pursuing? Did you ask back-to-back questions, use filler emojis, or send double texts? If yes, your communication has too much demand and not enough value. From this moment on, your messages must either create emotion, create logistics, or create space. Everything else is noise. When someone ignores you, the frame that wins is composure plus selective investment. That means you become easy to enjoy and hard to obtain. In practice, you shift from chasing attention to curating access. This isn't a performance, it's a higher quality standard. You demonstrate it by living well in the meantime and by speaking with clarity when you do speak. Let's talk about timing, because timing is part of the psychology. When she delays, you delay. Not as revenge, but as rhythm. Imagine a metronome. If you text within minutes after being ignored for hours, you shatter the rhythm and announce neediness. Instead, mirror her pace with a controlled offset. If she takes 12 hours, you take 24 to reply to the next non-essential message. If she takes a day, you take a day and a half. That offset tells her you're not orbiting. You're on your path. Next is content. Stop sending essays. You're not trying to convince, you're trying to evoke. Replace generic check-ins with statements that create a picture, a taste of your world, or a light challenge. Examples. I just found the best espresso spot. 3 seats, quiet, dangerous for productivity. Or, quick decision. Sunrise run on Sunday. You're either the type that hates it or the type that brags about it. These lines don't beg for a response. They invite identity. They also show that your life generates stories with or without her, which is magnetic. Understand the economy of attention. Scarcity creates value when quality is visible. If your life looks empty, scarcity reads as loneliness. If your life looks full, scarcity reads as selection. Your job is to make your calendar a reflection of standards. Schedule physical training, creative work, friendships with momentum, and challenges that put you slightly at risk of failure. Attraction is a side effect of purpose. The man who is going somewhere communicates it in the cadence of his words, the posture of his body, the specificity of his plans, and the way he moves between tasks without seeking permission. Now, frame control. You do not demand a response, you define your experience. If she resurfaces with minimal energy, sorry, been busy, you don't interrogate. You acknowledge once, then pivot to something grounded. All good, I'm keeping my week tight. Wednesday or Friday, 7 p.m., pick one, quick drink, I have an early start next day. That sentence communicates three things. You accept reality without resentment, you're time-conscious, and you give two options to minimize decision friction. It's decisive without being controlling. If she doesn't pick either option or she remains vague, maybe this week IDK, you don't try to negotiate. You set the boundary with calm finality. No stress. Let's skip this week. If your schedule settles, you can suggest a time that works. This closes the loop while placing the next move on her with zero anger. You've removed yourself gracefully from the pursuit cycle, and you've protected your energy. That boundary will either be ignored by someone who isn't available, in which case you save time, or it will reframe you as a man with standards, which often triggers a clean, specific proposal from her later. Let's drill deeper into the psychological levers you're pulling. First, controllable scarcity. Humans pursue what signals limited availability combined with consistent quality. You do not disappear to punish. You remove random access to increase meaning. In practice, that means you are either present and wholehearted or absent and occupied. You don't send low-energy breadcrumbs to stay on her radar. You choose presence over persistence. The contrast is what she feels. Second, non-reactivity. When she pulls away, your nervous system wants to fix. But the highest status behavior is to accept reality fast, adjust, and continue executing your plan. Non-reactivity is not silence, it's calm action. You can say, "Got it," and then reallocate your time. That micro moment of composure communicates years of maturity. Third, variable reward and self-possession. Most men create the same vibe every time. Instant availability, repetitive compliments, predictable responses. There's no emotional range. Your goal is not to manipulate, it's to stop being monotone. You create range by having a life that naturally shifts your emotional resonance, training, focus, laughter, challenge, recovery, and by expressing that range with intention. Some days you are bright and playful, some days you are brief and mission-driven. The key is that your mood tracks your life, not her attention. That stability with natural variation feels real and draws people in. Fourth, dominance over logistics, not over people. Leadership is attractive because it reduces friction. When you propose a plan, you remove decision fatigue, time, place, duration, vibe. You choose environments that do the heavy lifting for you. Lighting that flatters, music that allows conversation, a menu that doesn't complicate choices. Calm competence is felt before it's described. Fifth, self-respect encoded in micro-choices. When you stop explaining yourself, when you keep your texts purposeful, when you choose calls over threads of messages for anything substantial, when you decline last-minute low-effort plans with a simple, "I don't do spontaneous after 9 p.m., let's plan it properly." You communicate that your time is curated. People treat your time the way you treat it first. Let's address anxiety head-on. Because many men listen to advice yet sabotage the execution with nervous energy. If you feel your chest tighten while waiting for her reply, use a 2-minute reset. Stand up. Shake your arms loose. Set a timer. Inhale through the nose for 4 counts. Hold for 2. Exhale through the mouth for 6. On each exhale, say quietly, "Choose." Choose to put your attention on something tangible. A task, a workout, a book with a pen in your hand, a call to a friend who elevates you. Anxiety needs an object. Give it a constructive one. You're training your system to associate uncertainty with action, not rumination. Texting rules matter. Keep messages short, specific, and either fun or functional. Remove needy qualifiers like "if you want," unless you're busy, and "sorry to bother," or "haha, just saying." Those phrases leak insecurity. Replace them with clean lines. 6 p.m. works, 45 minutes. I'll grab the first round. Or, small change. I'm shifting workouts to earlier, so Thursday is out. Sunday afternoon would be better. You're not asking for permission to exist. You're aligning schedules. If she posts on social media but still ignores your message, do not comment on the discrepancy. Do not punish. People use platforms differently. You don't earn respect by policing. You earn it by enforcing your own boundary privately. If you're not getting reciprocity via direct channel, you stop investing direct energy. You can like or ignore a post, but you do not attempt to convert engagement in public into attention in private. That transfer rarely works, and it exposes neediness. What about the re-engagement message after a period of silence? First, you don't send it inside 48 hours if she ignored something meaningful. Give space. During that window, Upgrade your life in visible ways that require no announcement. New training cycle, higher standards for sleep, tighter schedule for deep work, a plan with friends at venues that actually inspire you. Your energy will shift. When you do reach out, make it crisp and assumptive without being entitled. For example, Wednesday, 7:15, Wine Place on 3rd has a 2-seat corner table. I'm going for 1 hour. If you want it, say yes by tomorrow noon. If she says nothing, you proceed alone or with someone else. Do not report back, do not ask why, and do not recycle the same plan. Time moved, you moved with it. If she returns after ignoring you, resist the urge to seek explanations. Attraction is forward moving. If she apologizes, accept once and move on. All good. Let's keep it simple. Coffee, 20 minutes, Saturday 11:30. If it's not a yes, we skip. This communicates that you learned from the past without reopening it. You're not here to litigate old texts. You're here to create a small, high-quality moment and see if there's signal. Here's a powerful mindset. You are not trying to be chosen. You are doing the choosing based on resonance and reciprocity. That shift immediately improves your communication. Your questions change from, "Do you like me?" to, "Does this fit the life I'm building?" Your standards change from, "Will she accept me?" to, "Is there alignment in desire, values, and pace?" When you filter this way, silence becomes useful data rather than an ego wound. Let's talk micro behaviors that either attract or repel when she goes quiet. Repellent behaviors. Double texting within minutes. Breadcrumbing with random memes. Sarcastic jabs about her delay. Guilt tripping. Oversharing to win sympathy. Performing false indifference. Competing with other men in her comments or announcing you're done. All of that screams emotional volatility. Attractive behaviors, holding your line calmly, reducing text volume while increasing quality, proposing a clear plan once and only once before you step back, optimizing your look and health without posting about it, improving your wardrobe fit and grooming so that when you do see her, you arrive in upgraded form, and speaking with brevity and warmth instead of either coldness or gushiness. The tone is, "I like you, I'm available in the right context, and I'm equally okay moving forward with my life." Work on your voice. Your voice is a signal of nervous system state. Slow down slightly, articulate, drop filler words, end sentences cleanly. When you call instead of texting endlessly, she hears certainty. Keep calls short unless momentum builds. A 5-minute call that lands a plan beats a 40-text thread with no outcome. If she can't take a call and never proposes a time, she's showing you priority. Believe behavior. Adjust investment. This adult acceptance saves you months of confusion. In person, use embodied presence. Eye contact to listen, not to stare. Smiles that reach the eyes. Pauses that let her finish her thought. Touch that's timely and light when appropriate. If she's been distant and shows up to see you, don't interrogate. Let the present moment be excellent. Curate an environment where drift is hard. Walk and talk. Sit at the bar corner. Share something tangible like a tasting flight or a quick gallery stroll. Scattered environments create scattered attention. You want focus and play wrapped together. If she sets conditions that feel like tests, we'll see. Maybe later. I'm not sure what I want. You stay kind and decisive. You can say, "I move better with clarity." If it becomes a yes, I'm easy to reach. Until then, I'm going to keep my focus tight. That line is powerful because it's true and it's clean. You're not punishing her for uncertainty. You're protecting your life from it. The right person respects that boundary. The wrong person fades. Both outcomes are wins. Now, the deeper layer, identity. Every tactic fails if it conflicts with your self-image. If you secretly believe you're not worthy unless someone is validating you, you'll sabotage the boundary at the first sign of discomfort. So build identity deliberately. Write down the traits you prize: decisiveness, emotional control, generosity without gullibility, playful wit, healthy ambition. For each trait, define one daily behavior that proves it. Decisiveness. Make one choice fast and live with it. Outfit, route, menu. Emotional control. 1 2-minute breathing drill when you feel the itch to chase. Generosity. One helpful act without expectation. Playful wit. One text that paints a picture instead of asking for one. Ambition. One deep work block with your phone in another room. You're no longer pretending to be grounded. You're becoming grounded. Calibrate your texting ratio. Early on, mirror or slightly under-index her frequency. If she sends 2 lines, you send 1 clean line. If she sends long essays, don't match volume, match clarity. Where others amplify noise, you reduce it. If she asks questions, answer and pivot to logistics or a light tease that creates a hook. If she avoids questions, you don't fill the silence with interviews. You replace questions with statements that can be disagreed with playfully. I'm convinced people who hate olives just never had them charred. These are small sparks that allow easy re-entry into a conversation without pressure. If silence stretches and you sense she is genuinely losing interest, don't try to resuscitate with intensity. Reducing investment can be the most attractive move you have left because it communicates that you are not a hostage to outcome. This doesn't mean ghosting back. It means you redirect your attention gracefully, you maintain your standard of warmth if paths cross, and you expand your social world. Paradoxically, abundance often re-attracts the people who drifted, because they can feel that you've stopped performing for them. Train your eye for signals. There's a difference between selective silence and systemic disinterest. Selective silence includes delayed replies paired with occasional high-signal messages, specific scheduling when engaged, real laughter, and curiosity about your life when you're together. Systemic disinterest shows as constant vagueness, last-minute cancellations, zero initiative, and no escalation. The first is calibratable. The second is a graceful exit. You waste no time diagnosing. You read the pattern and decide. Here's a condensed protocol to execute over the next 7 days if she is currently ignoring you. Day 1. Stop double texting. Audit your last messages and accept reality without story. Train your breath and posture. Put your phone in another room for your next workout or deep work session. Day 2. Upgrade your environment. Clean, organize, improve one visible detail in your appearance. Choose one venue that will be your go-to plan. Know its hours, best seat, and one signature item. Day 3. Invite novelty into your schedule. Class, trail, gallery, rooftop coffee, anything that injects story into your life. Day 4. If she still hasn't responded and you want one last clean attempt, send a single clear plan with a time window and an expiration. Friday, 6:45. Small bar with live piano for exactly 1 drink. I'm locking it by tomorrow, 3. Day 5. If no response, lock your plan alone or with a friend. Go. Enjoy. No announcements. Day 6. Reduce social media consumption and do something physically taxing that resets your chemistry. Long run, heavy lifts, hike with elevation. Day 7. Review the week. How do you feel? What behaviors made you proud? What standards felt right? From that state, decide if you'll leave the door open lightly or close the book and move forward. Either decision is powerful because it's yours. Develop your 3-line rule. You never need more than 3 lines to communicate value in a text. Line 1, a sensory or identity-based opener. Line 2, a concise plan with time constraint. Line 3, a clean out if it's not a yes. Example: caught a spot with absurd tiramisu and terrible lighting. Perfect for conspirators. Tomorrow 7:10, 1 hour. If that's chaos on your end, we'll find a better window next week. You said something that paints, something that decides, and something that respects. That structure is bulletproof. Remember to praise sparingly and specifically. Empty flattery signals low standards. Specificity signals presence. Instead of "you're gorgeous," try "the way you tilt your head when you think is deadly. It tells me you edit before you speak." That demonstrates observation and restraint. Don't stack compliments. Place one, then move the conversation. The contrast keeps it potent. Protect the asymmetry of pursuit. If you always initiate, slow down. If she never proposes alternatives when declining, assume low interest. If she occasionally initiates with energy, receive it, amplify it a notch, and convert it into a plan. That capture and convert habit keeps momentum real. You're not a pen pal, you're building a living connection, or you're not. You can enjoy a moment, but you don't camp in the maybe zone. Master graceful goodbyes. When interest fades or logistics stall indefinitely, end with dignity. I've enjoyed our vibe, but I move forward when schedules don't align. If life clears up, you know where to find me. That line is rare. It radiates self-trust. It frees both people without burning the bridge. It also keeps your brand consistent, decisive, kind, and moving. Sharpen your humor. Playful deflection is a powerful tool when she tests you with mild indifference. If she says, "You took long enough to reply," and she took 2 days before that, you can smile and say, "Balance restored." If she says, "Maybe I'll show up," you can reply, "Dangerously inspiring. Confirm by 5 so I don't accidentally adopt a cat instead." Light tease, clear boundary. No bitterness, no pleading. Raise your threshold for intimacy. Interest is not access. The fastest way to lose someone's respect is to give them everything before they've earned anything. That doesn't mean playing games, it means your time, attention, affection, and physicality follow a ladder of reciprocity. Each rung needs clarity. When you feel anxiety pushing you to accelerate, slow down by 1 notch and let reality catch up. The men who maintain long-term polarity aren't colder, they're consistent. Separate outcome from identity. Whether she responds today or not, your mission remains. Repeat to yourself, "My value is not up for negotiation. My attention is a gift I control." That mantra isn't cosplay, it's policy. You are the steward of your energy. You choose where to invest. You hold the tension of desire without collapsing into need. And when you act like that consistently, you become the man whose presence changes rooms, even when he says little. Let's wrap this into a simple, executable formula you can remember under pressure. When she ignores you, you do 3 things. First, you stabilize. Breath, posture, attention on your mission. Second, you calibrate. Reduce output. Mirror pace with a slight offset, and only send messages that create emotion, create logistics, or create space. Third, you decide. If she re-engages with signal, you convert quickly to a concrete plan. If she stays vague, you close the loop kindly and move forward. No drama, no speeches, just standards. In the end, silence is information. Let it inform you, not define you. When you stop chasing certainty and start embodying clarity, everything shifts. Your words get leaner, your eyes steadier, your presence heavier. You become a man who is not available to everyone. And that, more than any clever line, is what makes you impossible to ignore.